Hello, hello, hello. For it is Christmas time. Is that the sound of reindeer? Can you hear the reindeer? I can't do it for too long because the kids are in bed. Merry Christmas, one and all. Merry Christmas. No, not in the mood? Okay. I thought we'd be Christmassy. What do you think? No? Get in the mood for Christmas. Andrew's in, he says hello, evening. And he's mentioning Kirstie Alley, who died. Indeed. But I'm still here. And it's Christmas. Christmas time, mistletoe and wine. Christians doing Christian times. Do you think I've gone too far? You'd tell me if I've gone too far, wouldn't you? You would tell me if I've gone too far. Yeah, too far. Okay, oh, well, I thought it was good. I love it. It says add suitability already. This content. So I mean, I put adverts on so I can hit you with an ad, but I've been hit with an ad suitability warning already, and I've only barely started. It says the video is running with limited or no ads due to content identified not suitable for most advertisers. How is this unsuitable? I've noticed that YouTube's doing this a lot to every video I put up, and I have to request. Yeah. Request a review. It remains fully playable. Thank you. And I've double checked. Request review. There we go. Request human review. I think YouTube hates me. I think everybody hates me. Convinced says it's too early. No, it's not. That's where you're wrong. It's not too early. I want to do festive. I very rarely go full festive mode here, and this is the first time. You're gonna have to get used to it. You never know. Convinced says I saw 2 ads before the stream started with the jingles. Well, that's weird, because I thought he said it was restricted. I've just put a request in. Anyway, let me just hit you with a proper ad. There you go. I've just hit you with an ad there, because it's Christmas, and you people, you lucky people, I've got to pay for my kids' Christmas presents. Andrew says enjoyed the Bundles album. Good, because it's a good album, isn't it? Just, I'll tell you, my head's getting warm. It's the thing when you're a little bit follically challenged and you put a hat on, especially indoors, you don't have to get a hot head. Don't have to get hot quick. I'll tell you. G-Man's in. It's his evening. He's feeling festive. I'm sure he's got tinsel around his baubles as we speak. Look, see, I've got tinsel. Look, the tree is up. I don't know if we can do. I'm going to have to use dog cam as tree cam now. Wait a minute, I don't know if you can see it. The tree is up. There it is. There's the tree. You know, we can also do ear cam. Look at that, ear cam. I can see around the back of my own head. You can't do that. Look, back of the head cam. Look at that. No, I'm not putting it in there. It's amazing what you can do, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? Isn't it marvellous? Oops. Knocked everything off there. Sano, he's more in the mood. He says better to be festive than to be Scrooge. Well, getting ready. That's my blood pressure monitor. Take a moment to reflect. That's what my watch tells me. Reflect on the... Oh, you can't see, it's gone off. Reflect on your day. Open the mindfulness app. Convince says, let's see all the M&S ads. She'll give you all that moolah by enduring it. I don't know. I don't know if we'll get that. Again, I have no control over the ads that play sometimes. Again, this is what I don't understand about YouTube, because it says that, you know, every video I put up, I have to kind of challenge the restrictions, but obviously there are ads going out. But I think they do that, so then they play ads and they take the money and you get nothing, because I'm sure they're playing a funny game. But I'm the conspiracy theorist now. But I ain't got a tin hat, I've got a Santa hat. Oh yeah. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. Dan says, evening, it's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, we let in light and we banish shade. But for the Africans, they don't know what Christmas is, because they're not predominantly a Christian country, isn't it? You know, remember back in when we were saving Ethiopia? Isn't Ethiopia mainly a Muslim country? So poor old Bob, he got that one wrong, didn't he? Convinced says, my tree has been up all year, but the lights didn't go on until December. Well, it's December. You better switch them on, if you can afford it, that is. We got our tree up on Monday, and that was a performance. That was a ball ache, because earlier in the year, when was it now? Summertime. Earlier in the year, our loft hatch mysteriously flung itself open at 2:45 in the morning, made a mighty racket, and the hinges bust. So anyway, I paid an awful lot of money to get somebody else to fix it. Again, if I still had my tools, I could have fixed it myself, but I don't have my tools anymore. Long story. It's about moving and forgetting them and leaving them in the shed back at the shop. But anyway, so I got a man in to and he didn't fix it properly. He cut a new loft hatch that was slightly too big to fit, so it no longer swings open effortlessly. So on Monday, forgetting that, because I just shut the hatch and forgot about it in June, whenever it was, I had to install a handle to the loft hatch before I could open it, because I couldn't open it because it was jammed tight. And then it was a bit of an effort. So what should have been an up and down ended up taking like a lot longer. And it's really hard. It's really hard to put a door handle, a hatch, to the hatch, whilst it's up in the air. You do this thing on the ground, so you can make sure it's level and not wonky. I was getting paranoid, saying to Mrs. "Oh, this looks wonky to me," because the man who fitted a new hatch, I don't know I'm doing that, but he did it badly, didn't cut the hatch door level, so it's a bit like that. So I'm like, it's all crinkly. I haven't got a straight edge to level this against. But we got there in the end. There was some swearing involved. But we got there. We got there in the end. And by Jiminy, it was fantastic. So yeah. Why is life so complicated? I don't know why it's Gmail says, speaking of Christmas, I have to say I'm very disappointed in the Xmas movie selection on Sky Movies this year. And none of my usual faves are missing so far. Will they arrive soon? Who knows? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure there's some new movies. I thoroughly recommend The Northman. It's good to see the film reviews going down as well as I thought they'd go down. And the TV reviews going down as well as I thought they'd go down. Fasano says, Father Christmas may be a little late this Christmas Eve as he's not allowed to fly over Russian airspace. Did you hear the story about Putin falling over and shitting himself? Apparently inside information said that Putin, who's suffering from various cancers, that's what they reckon, Putin had an accident and then had another accident and soiled himself. No wonder he's invaded Ukraine. You know, he's very, very upset with everything, isn't he? He's very upset. Convinces put a band on it. In the sitcom Father Ted, one of the characters, being Father Jack Hackett, looked awfully like Bob Geldof for the episode, indeed. And he also says, I was in CX the other day, the same argument every year. Is Die Hard a Crimbo film? Is there an argument? Because it is, and so there's not really an argument, because everybody who thinks it isn't are wrong. So, no, there is no argument. For it is a Christmas film, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. I'm glad we've established that. I'm glad we've established. Oh dear. Well, this is going well. Anyone out there? Does anyone want to chat? No? No one? Okay then. Very quiet. Very quiet these days. I think everyone's trying to tell me something. I've got a story. I've got a story for you. Who wants to hear a Royal Mail story? As you know, by now, you should know, if you've been following closely enough, I sell stuff on eBay. I sell a lot of stuff on eBay. And I was selling some old magazines. I was getting rid of some old magazines. And today, I went to the post box, and there was a magazine in my post box. I thought, that's interesting. Wasn't expecting a magazine. So I pulled it in and took it upstairs. And when I looked at it, it was one of the magazines I'd sent out with stickers on it saying hadn't paid the postage and it's been returned to me. Returned to sender, hadn't paid the postage. I sent this magazine out on the 21st of October. 21st of October. And it had been returned to me. Thing is I'd paid the postage because this was all done via eBay's automated Royal Mail postage system, and the label was printed out. I've got a little label printer. It's all done professionally. I'm thinking, this doesn't make sense. And then I remembered I got refunded for a postal thing, a refund on one. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe that was it. So I'm thinking, right, because this has been lost in the system for, well, since the 21st of October, and it was the 6th of December today, I'm thinking that this item went into the Royal Mail system, got lost, and because it didn't, hit their computers until after the 28th of October, because you've got 7 days to post it before the post label becomes invalid, and then you get an automatic refund. I think that's how it works. So I've got a feeling that this piece of post kind of got lost. I got refunded, and then when it finally did hit their computer system, it said, oh, this hasn't been paid for, and then they sent it back to me. I think that's what happened, because I paid for it. Of course I paid for it. It was all done automatically via eBay. So I emailed them out. It's funny because the customer, the buyer, the purchaser, the winning bidder, never contacted me to say he never received his magazine. So I emailed him today and said, wow, something really weird happened is I've got your magazine back. And they said that the postage wasn't paid, blah, 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 blah. I'm putting it in the post for you again. I had to buy a new label, you know. I've never had that before. I've never had a return to sender. You know. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird that should happen? Yeah. Isn't that weird? That's a little story, that is. That's a story. Yeah. Convinced says they put lights on my town and pressed the button 5 seconds too late. Magic ruined. Surprised they can afford it. A lot of places are not putting on Christmas lights, are they? Because of the cost of living crisis. G-Man says, do you and your family have any Xmas movies you like to watch each Xmas? If so, which ones? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Driller Killer, Human Centipede, Part 2. Not really. No, no. I mean, I don't really. Again, if there's stuff on, I'll watch it. I don't have any traditions per se. I mean, there are certain films that, if they're on, I will watch in the house. I can't remember. There are too many to mention. But no, we don't have any traditions as such when it comes to things like that. Again, I've only just got kids into watching films with us. It's only taken me, was it 15 years? Because I used to complain, but I think now they're getting it. They're getting it now. They're understanding that films are good. Films can be fun. But no, not really. I mean, we watch The Snowman. We're walking in the air. We're walking in the moonlit sky. That one wasn't Aled Jones. Did you know that? Aled Jones didn't sing it. It was another boy. And he was unknown because I never credited him at the time. So Aled Jones's father, realising that there was no official single, said, "Son, get your coat on. We're going to the recording studio." And they recorded their version and put that out before an official Snowman single was released. Did you know that? And that poor boy who sings "I'm walking in the air" wasn't known for many, many years. Yeah. And do you like the David Bowie? Did you like the David Bowie intro to The Snowman? That's good, isn't it? Yeah. Me and Iggy, we took a load of coke, and this snowman, he came to life. Yeah. Let's dance. It's very good, very good. But one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch The Snowman and the Snow Dog. I'm feeling upset just thinking about it. Because again, both of these deal with death. It's about death and mourning. And the second one, I really like the second one. It's very rare that I think a sequel is equal or even better than the first. I really like The Snowman and the Snow Dog, which was, I think it was released on the anniversary, wasn't it, of The Snowman. And so we watch those every year. But this year it's going to be tough. I think we'll all be crying. We'll all be crying because it's about a little dog who dies. But he gets another dog at the end. Hooray! So it's kind of happy, sad. But then the snowman still dies. Spoilers. Because he always does. Because that's what happens. So, yeah, that's the closest thing we have to a tradition. But I don't know. It's going to be... I think we'll all be just crying. But, yeah. There you go. Convinced says, my town is tiny, very energy efficient. That's probably one side to the story. There's probably an old age pensioner on a bike, pedalling for all his life to keep the single Christmas light flickering. Wait a minute, we do have delivery of a hot beverage. Do you like my look? I've made it look Christmassy.
Oh, I do. That's
look,
very good.
Look,
oh.
I'm Father Christmas.
Very seasonal.
I am, aren't I? I'm Father Christmas. I'm so pleased with myself. I feel like I'm King Big Bollocks on YouTube. I'm going to get so many views now. So many views. It's going to make all the difference. Because it looks like I'm almost professional. So where are we? Dan's in. Dan is in. And he says, I've got a strange story with the Royal Mail too. Last year I ordered Mark Kelly's biography. I got that one. Did you get a signed one? And 2 copies sent from Marillion disappeared literally. Very odd. Oh, maybe there's a Marillion fan in the Royal Mail. Or maybe it's somebody who's selling them on eBay. They should check out eBay. Because very unscrupulous people sell their gear on eBay. I wouldn't trust me. I'm a little bit dodgy, me. I mean, I've had the odd thing disappear, but I've never had things be returned to me, like returned to sender. You know, I've had things returned to me when people have not been happy with them. You know, or they've been broken or whatnot. But no, it's just really odd because, like I said, if you use eBay, you'll know that it's all done automatically, and you pay Royal Mail and you get the label and you stick it on and you send it and you forget about it and it's done. But I tell you what I've been having, which has been weird, because they do this automatic collection thing, which is great, because if I've got a pile of stuff that's going out, the man comes, he takes it away from me, and it's great. But I had a couple where he said, "Oh, that's not in the system." And I go, but I did it, and it went out, and he went, "Oh, it's not in." So I hand it back to me, and I have to register it again. He'd come back the next day and he'd go, "Oh, thank you." It's like, why can't you just take it now? Because I'm registered. No, can't put it in systems, not registered. So I think their IT system's a little bit wobbly. But yeah, I reckon there's a Marillion fan in the Royal Mail. Sana says the League of Gentlemen Christmas specials are good. Yeah, they do horror themed ones. We've got Inside Number 9 Christmas special and a Motherland Christmas special to look forward to. There you go. If you like that sort of thing on the BBC. Convinces Bill Bailey used to put faux drunk Aled Jones accent. I'm Aled Jones and it's all gone wrong for me. Andrew says, how's it going finding a new doggy? I don't know if I can talk about it yet. Don't want to jinx it. But I will talk about the complete uselessness of the rescue centres, because when Hannah passed, the Saturday and every day subsequently, I went online and I applied to many centres, including Battersea, where we got Hannah from, and many others. And a lot of these centres don't have a visiting policy now. You have to apply. I think I've explained it before. So I only stopped applying, oh God, when was it? Was it Monday? Yeah, yesterday. I gave up. I just went, I'm done. And because we've heard nothing. I've applied in my name. I've applied in the missus's name, just in case they're blacklisted, because everybody hates me. And I keep seeing adverts on like Facebook. I mean, the RSPCA today, they advertised a dog, right? This is in Southend, right? RSPCA in Southend, or near Southend. They advertised a dog that I applied for the other week. I applied for this dog, and they're saying, I won't name him, because of privacy purposes. Little Bonzo needs a home. And I nearly emailed him and said, you fuckers, I applied, you never got back to me. And that's what you get. So I've kind of left that alone, and I've gone private. I'm rehoming another pet who is finding it a little bit difficult in their current situation, noisy children. So what we do is we bring it here where they're noisy. No, that isn't going to work. No, our kids are very quiet because I keep them locked up in the cupboard under the stairs, and so that won't affect the dog. But yes, I've been negotiating with a fellow, and there will be a dog soon. But I don't want to talk about any more details. But I do need a whip round, because it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap because I've gone private. So I'm going to do some e-begging. Right, so send money in used notes in a plain brown envelope to the usual address. The hot water pipes, Waterloo Station, men's toilet. If you can do that for me, everything would be cushy. You know what I'm saying? So I wish Alan Harwood was alive, because I got to sell a guitar. And he could have helped me out, and then he could have given it back to me years later. So there may be a dog arriving, but like I said, I don't really want to talk about it just in case it all falls through, because I've just finished negotiating business this very evening. And the guy's been very good about it. I mean, again, he's trying to find a new home, because this dog is getting a bit snappy. Don't worry, I'm used to training dogs. Like I said, 30 years of dog owning experience. So thanks, Thomas. Thank you. It's very kind of you. But yeah, I mean, where I've drifted off. Yeah, so end of the week. So yeah, that should be interesting. And I'm a bit nervous about it, because again, I haven't seen the dog, and where the dog is located is far, far away. But as I explained to the man, if we went there because the kids want to go, and I saw the dog, we'd end up coming back with the dog anyway, because the kids want the dog, because you know what kids are like. So I'm taking a bit of a gamble. I'm going against my instincts, but I'm just hoping it's going to work out right. But like I said, I've got lots of experience of dog ownership, and I'm pretty good at doggy psychology. So I'm hoping that we can give this one a happy home, and this one is happy with us. It's a two-way street. We've got to be happy with them, and they've got to be happy with us. But I'm still finding it hard with Hannah going. I'm tearing up. I keep hearing her. I can hear her breathing, and when I come into the room, I expect her to be there. Especially after cooking dinner, it's very odd. I'm finding it really odd. With Alex, it was so different. It's like I'd accepted it before. It was kind of, and this one, because again, it was so quick. And I'm hoping this dog will take my mind off of it all, because I've been so miserable. That's why I'm doing the videos, trying to take my mind off of things, and trying to pep myself up a bit. So I've been in a bit of a fug with everything. Because I'm a sensitive soul, I know you all think I'm horrible, but it's all a put on. That. So that is, for those that want to know, that's what's happening, and I will update you. Well, I don't know. Will we do an introductory video? Would that be too much? Would that be too much of a YouTube thing? I didn't do that with Hannah. She was just here. Posted a few pictures on Facebook, of us going to the centre and everything. But I don't know. I'm really just nervous about it because I haven't seen the animal, and I'm just hoping that it's not too maladjusted. Hopefully I can get through to, do a doggy mind meld and get through and save this dog. It makes it sound like it's awful. I'm sure it's very nice, but because of its breed, they're highly strung. And I've had experience of this breed before, and I know what they're like. So should be interesting. Wish me luck. Baubles galore indeed, says Convinced. For Sonis's Father Ted Christmas is also good indeed. And so is Steptoe and Son. Steptoe and Son Christmas Special. Very good. Sonis says, I'm looking forward to watching The Northman, Lighthouse and The Witch. Were both very good. Yeah, The Northman's a very different film. Again, the review I did is as spoiler free as I can get it, and I won't spoil it for you because I went to The Northman completely blind, same as I went to The Witch and The Lighthouse. I was like, don't want to know. Don't want to know. So I'm just adjusting the moustache because I keep getting coffee in it. Let me just let me see if I can get it. Is that good? Does that look good? Yeah. That's better. Got to adjust it, Gets in the way. Gets in me soup, That's the worst thing. Can't have soup. That's for all the people that get irritated by supping and slurping. The Northman is a different film, obviously, because he made a different film. It's not as claustrophobic as the other two, because where the other two are kind of set in like one environment, there's more places to go. So it's a bit more expansive as a movie. A lot more money spent on it. But again, if you know the story of Hamlet and Shakespearean tales, you'll probably figure it out. As it goes along, you go, oh, I know where this is going. But it's a good film. It's good fun. I thought, even though I knew where it was going, I thought it was good fun. And it's a shame that, like I said, in different marketing, with a little bit of different marketing, I think it could have been. It's a real blockbuster. It's a bit of it's a proper blockbuster. I think the same way that Braveheart was a blockbuster. It should have been advertised like that. I think. I think, and also the title, The Northman, doesn't really, it should have been called Bloody Vengeance of Hamlet or something like that. Thomas says, hope you're well. Yeah, still alive. Though I do have tales of medicine, if people want to hear tales of medicine. Maybe in a minute. Shane says, did you see the latest Rick and Morty episode, Goodbye Blue Sky? Oh, use Goodbye Blue Sky. No, me and V are a bit behind on it, because I don't know where you are in the world. If you're in the UK, I think we get them later than the US, and we kind of fell behind because we didn't enjoy the first few episodes of this current series. It was like, where's this going? It's all about incest and fucking each other. It was like, yeah, we get it. You're trying to be shocking. You know, we just didn't think narratively it was really moving anything forward. It was like they'd, you had the whole evil Morty plotline set up at the end of the last season, and then they just kind of went, oh, we're not going to do that now. We're just going to fuck about for a bit. So we got a bit bored, and so we kind of drifted away. But I think we're going to try and watch some more of them again. I hope they don't disappear from all four, because I know they have like a time limit on them. But I need to catch up. Convince. Oh no. Thomas says, I can't believe you're having this much trouble with dog rescue centres. Well, believe it. It's happening. And I made a post on Battersea, because Battersea did a post about rehoming dogs, and I expressed my opinion. I'm surprised I wasn't banned, and many people said exactly the same as me. One woman had been waiting since June and only just got her rescue pup. She'd been waiting for them. I'd read about other people. One guy had been registered for something like 5 years and has never heard anything from them. And I think they're obsessed with back gardens and 6-foot fences. And again, we have a back garden, but I don't ever take my dog in that back garden. Our dogs are exercised, around the locale. We've got a massive open space that way. We've got an open space just over there. There's plenty of spaces for them to use, and I walk an awful lot with them. So you don't really need a back garden. Even when I had Alex, even when we had a back garden, Alex only went in the back garden to lay in the sun. For his toiletry habits, he went out walkies. We went walking all the time, even like late night walk. And he only ever went out the back at 2 in the morning if he had a jippy tummy or something. And that was, you can count that on one hand. The amount of times he went out the back, and 2 of the times he went out the back at stupid o'clock in the morning, he rolled in fox shit, and I had to bath him. So that was horrible. Have you ever had a dog roll in fox shit, and then you put him in the bath, a hot bath, and then the smell that comes up, it's like fox shit stew. It's like, and there I am at 2 in the morning, stripped, because I don't want to get fox shit all over myself. Obviously, I'm wearing my jeans, but I've taken my t-shirt off, wrestling with a shitty dog at 2 in the morning. It's like, this is why you have animals. It's like kids, So yeah, once you've done that, kids are not a problem. Even that time when Verity was sick, and she was sick everywhere except down the toilet. It was behind the radiator, all over the back of the toilet, all everywhere except down the toilet. I think we had norovirus, and I got the job of cleaning it up because the missus had norovirus too, and I'd actually had a heavy cold, so I couldn't actually smell anything, and that was the only time I've ever enjoyed cleaning up vomit, because I couldn't smell anything. Oh dear. And Thomas has donated £2, which I did thank earlier. But yeah, just a bit for the potties. That's very kind of you. Very kind. wait till YouTube late their cut of it. Convince is writing at home, folks. Darren will send a Blue Peter badge back. Hey, you laugh, but if I had enough of you who were interested, I've got to find it now. Oh God. Wait a minute. I've got to find it. What did I call it again? Oh. Come on, work, you bugger. Talk amongst yourselves. Where did I put it? Oh no, I've lost it. Maybe it's in documents. I did design a badge. But I can't remember where I put it. Oh shit. Typical. I design a badge, and then I don't know where I've put it. Oh, Darren, what have you done? You fool! You fool. Maybe it's in the iCloud. Maybe. Maybe it's there. Nope, it's not there. Ah, dear. You're an idiot. But anyway, I did design a badge. Honest. I designed a badge for us called the Old Faithful Club. If I could find it. I can't find it. I've lost it. I've lost the badge. Oh, maybe it's on the... Maybe I backed it up on... Maybe I put it on the backup. Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be it. I've been clever. I can't believe I took all that time to design it and I've forgotten where I've put it. Oh, wait a minute. Old. Old friends. No. No, that's it. I can't. Oh, I've lost it. I can't believe I've lost it. Maybe I called it badge. Maybe I called it that. Maybe I called it badge. This is not good entertainment, is it? This is why I've lost viewers. I can feel it now. It's not called that either. I can't believe I've lost it. Oh, Darren, you're an idiot. You're an incompetent buffoon. One day, in about 10 years' time, if I'm still alive, I'll find that badge design. Sorry about that, everyone. I did design a badge. It was really cool. Someone says, good luck with the dog. Thank you. And G-Man says, Darren the Dog Whisperer. I don't know. I don't know if I'm that good. I don't know. It's just, you know. I don't know. I just I know how hard Alex was when he wasn't hard, but he didn't like women for the first year, and we had to do a lot of work with him to get used to the missus and my mum. So that took a lot of training, and again to get him prepped for just having kids, because not that he was. I never thought he was never aggressive to me he wasn't a biter. They said he was a biter, but it's like everything else. I think dogs are a reflection of the owner, and if the owner is calm and and there's love, I think you're halfway there. And like I said, I've never had a problem. Never had a problem with him. So, and we was talking about Anna tonight. Anna was just so easy because she was so calm and such an easy dog to be with. She wasn't tense or worried. She was just her own dog. Probably a little bit too reserved. And he said it was only when we said goodbye to her and she was just so pleased to see us that we realised that she loved us, because she was just chill. She was just like her own creature. She was very assured, and I think that comes from her living in the wild on her own for so long. And it was taking us, again, years for her to become a bit more dog-like. She didn't know how to be a dog, But I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just like everything. It's like every new relationship, you worry about it, you hope it's going to go for the best. And, and I'm hoping that this fellow has been honest with me about what this dog, is like, and it's not a biter. He said it can be a bit nippy, but I've had this breed before and I know they can be nippy. So, you know, if they're stressed, it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Jason's in. He says, "I'm a bit late. I hope you got a note from your mother." It's Christmas, Jason. What do you think? Is that a customised Toblerone bar? Yeah. It says, "Dad, my hero." I saw a post on Twitter the other day. A guy ordered one of them, was pissed. He forgot about it, and when it arrived, it read Tomblin. Well, it's pretty good, that. It's limited edition. Thomas says, "Nothing worse than when the dogs come in after rolling in fox shit. Been there so many times." You hear me? You hear me? Like I said, and that's why Alex didn't go out in the garden, you know, like, because we've been out for a walk. I always take dogs out late, and then it's time for bed, you know. So it's a last walk of the day, and then it's bedtime, so everyone's chill, and the dog's relaxed, and I'm relaxed, and you know, that's the way it is. And I'm missing that so much, because you know, it gets to 11 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I want to go for a walk. But if I start walking around on my own in the dark, you know, I don't know, it's the wrong kind of dogging, isn't it? And that's that sort of thing. Over Epping Forest without a dog, wrong kind of dogging, you know. Where are we? Vince says, "What's your smart reader read this week? Has it gone up masses like mine?" I don't know. Maybe I can put it up on the internet, because it'd be easier than using my phone, because I can't see what I'm doing with the phone. Again, we got our first bill in, and because I've been squirreling money away since January, because again I was kind of ready for this. I'm not clever, it's just experience. You know, as soon as this all started, I knew that, well, it was going to have right, here we go. Payments. Is this the bill? Where's the bills? Have we got bills? Bills. Here we go. Oh, itchy eye. This is November's bill. If I can pull this up. Bear with me a moment. Let me see. This is November's bill. October was cheap. I've got a feeling some of October has passed over. But you can see, you know, the bills have been a bit all over the place. It makes us look like we use loads of electricity, but it's not. You can see, look at this year on year. Can you see how the bill has gone? Can you see that? Look at that. October last year we were doing 85 quid. This year 129. Alright, so you can see where this is going. Again, July 21 is 83. July 2022 148. You can see how we've been, well, fist fucked by the energy companies. You know, so it always gets a bit expensive around January. But again, of course, these bills are a bit high, even higher than normal because of the COVID. Because back in 2020 and 2021, we had the kids at home. There was a couple of lockdowns. One was over Christmas and that, and also the missus is working from home now. When everyone was not here, I wouldn't have to get the central heating on during the day. I'd sit here and just layer up, put a few t-shirts on and my jumper, and take the dog out, get warmed up like that, and that pushes everything up. So, and now the missus is here. We, not saying we have the heating on all the time, but I was a bit more prudent with my energy usage. But it doesn't make any difference, because you could just be sitting there in the dark and you're still going to end up, your fridge is still going to end up burning electricity. It's just unfair, and we should have built all those nuclear power stations back in 2005. They'll be coming online about now. Thomas says, I'm eating pizza and you're talking about vomit. This should come with a warning. First time I had norovirus, warning, the night before I'd eaten a pizza and I was so violently ill that partially digestive black olives came out of my nose, and it put me off of olives for, trying to think, at least 5 years. I can still feel them exiting my nose because I had norovirus and it was a very violent vomit. Black olives coming out your nose. Imagine that. There you go. You wanted a vomit story? You wanted a vomit story? I can do diarrhea if you want. Do you want diarrhea? Convinced says it was the 70s. It was Peter Purvis at the peak of his BBC fame. Don't be blue, Peter, I shouted. Needless to say, I had the last life, Alan Partridge. There's a lot of that, isn't there? There's a lot of that. Thomas says, my little Yorkie called Lulu is absolutely lovely and calm, thus proving that dogs don't always take after their owners. Well, yeah, again, this is the thing. Yorkies, I mean, again, Yorkies can be right nippy little buggers, but again, it all depends on, on their home environment. You might be mad, but she obviously feels comfortable with you. And bitches are different to male dogs anyway. They're not as pack orientated. They often like their own space, and I'm sure she's got somewhere she can go and chill, And it's all about, a lot of it's about security. If they feel secure and they don't feel under attack, or what's this random thing? Is it going to be a random thing happening? Again, dogs don't like random things happening. They like stability and routine. She's probably just fine. Ash says, last album I listened to. Funny enough, somebody mentioned it in the comments, and I actually been listening to it. It was David Sylvian's Gone to Earth. Funny enough, and I got the new. It's not. Is it new? It is new. I got the new Portico Quartet limited edition thing. It's a live version of their Terrain thing, and that came through. But I haven't listened to it yet. I don't know. I just feeling the mood to it. Mood to it. And before that, I went for greatest hits. I actually got this cheap because I remember buying this years ago, and then I thought I fancied listening to it again, even though I had it ripped. I just wanted to hear the CD again. Yeah, it was the best of split ends. It cost me like £1.50. So for old time's sake, I just felt a little bit nostalgic. So that was fun. Didn't need to buy it, but I just felt like buying it. CDs, it's new vinyl, everyone knows that. Convinced says it'd be nippy at night, cold sense and lewd sense. Wrong kind of dog indeed. Thomas says, I had norovirus about 10 years ago, extremely violent illness, thank you for ruining my dinner. Well, yeah, this would be about the same for us. It would, crikey, we'd just moved. Or was it? No, it was later than that, because I think Verity had started. No, Verity hadn't started school, because my mum was still alive, and it was her. She brought it into the house because she got it first. It was around 2012. Yeah, it was about 10 years ago. Yeah, because it was before she died. So yeah, it's about 10 years ago. There was a couple of waves of really bad norovirus, and again, the last time we had it was a few years back. I think it was actually 2019 actually, and it's good. They'd gone round their cousin's place for Easter, and they brought it back, and we all got it. And I succumbed to it last, but I was only ill for a very short while, and I was sick once, and then I was fine. I'd kind of built up a resistance to it. But I reckon norovirus comes from seafood, from shellfish, and people not washing their hands, and the virus comes out of that, and then spreads in the general population, apparently. So there you go. Convinces projectile both ends, indeed. Convinces awful feeling. Woman I know goes way into detail, likes to tell all of the grizzlies. Well, don't need to do that, do we? Don't need to do that. But no, I mean we've had norovirus again because you have kids and they go to school and they bring everything back. This is why I'm surprised we're not all dead with COVID, because kids have been to school, and we was testing them all the time. But I think we're the spreaders. I think we are. I think COVID probably came from us because we live like pigs. Excuse me. Is everybody out there? We seem to have run out. 24 people watching, only 7 likes. If you can't give me your likes, give me your money instead. If you can't give me your money, give me your likes. Good news, everybody. This month, paid off the boiler. It's been 5 years. 5 years of paying off the boiler, our new boiler. And I just want to thank everybody who contributed back in the day, 5 years ago, who I think it was just over £200 towards the boiler fund. Wasn't enough to clear the $2,000, but it was 2,200, but we had 2,000 left to pay. So, but I want to thank those people. They're probably all dead now. But if you helped with the boiler fund 5 years ago, this is it. I expect the boiler to blow up any time before probably Christmas Eve, just to fuck with me, and then we'll have to buy another one, and it all starts again. What do you reckon? Yeah. Thomas says schools are petri dishes indeed. Ash says split ends always reminded me of the deaf school for some reason. Okay. Convinced said any thoughts on when Peter Gabriel released a single? I wonder if he'll previously announced tours before albums. No, he didn't. It was always this is the odd thing. It was always, and it was the same for every band. I think the dynamics shifted slightly because the tours are more important than the albums. The albums don't make the money now. It's the tours and the merchandise. But yeah, every band in the old days, in the 80s and 90s and whatnot, they had an album out, and then shortly after that it would be, and here's the tour, and and it'll be, be quite a few months away from after the album released. So yeah, it's a bit different. It's all, the dynamic has shifted somewhat. Of course, I might be remembering it wrong, but that's how I remember things. It was album, then the tour was basically announced around the time of the album release, or maybe a week after. But now they tend to announce the tours like a year in advance, or whatnot. I know it hasn't been for him, but some tours they announce it like a year in advance, and there might be an album. But yeah, who knows? I mean, he's had 2 singles out, I'm Amazing and The Veil, so I don't know if they're going to be on the album, or edited versions of that will be on the album, or if it's completely new material. We'll have to wait and see. Will it be a double? Will it be a double album? Oh my god, imagine that. Gabriel releases a double album. It's called I.O., you see, and I imagine the one disc will be input and the other disc will be output. Just putting it out there. Okay? Just putting it out there. I don't know anything. That is my guess. It's a double. Okay? Because all the songs are going to be like 12 minutes long, because he can't edit himself anymore. Thomas says, let's get more likes on the folks. Indeed. Convinced says, don't smash the like button. Give it a regular old press to avoid cracking your screen. It's not a touch screen. I don't think it is. Is it a touch screen? I don't know. Can I touch it? Is this a touch screen? What, am I doing anything? Is it working? Andrew says, my boiler packed up recently. It was freezing cold. Thankfully it's fixed. Needed a new pump. Yeah. Again, when they go, I mean, when we came here, the boiler kept failing, and it was just on its last legs. It was just not throwing out any heat at all. And I worked out, again, because whenever, I don't know if you've ever had this, but whenever you come to a property, the new boiler's a bit like, I don't know, like taking on a new wife. You don't know a lot, you don't know her history. You don't know, she's been around the block a bit. And I don't like strange boilers. I feel uncomfortable. I don't know what buttons to press. I don't know how to turn them on. I don't know how to turn them off. I don't know how to fill them up. So what do you do? But luckily this had a manual, so that helped. And I realised the boiler was something like over 15. It might have been heading towards 17 years old. Or am I getting that mistaken with Alex? I can't remember. But it was a really old boiler. And I think one of the engineers went, he did that thing. And it's going to be expensive when they go, so it was kind of we decided to get a new boiler before it finally kicked, because it was just going to pack up. I think the guy said, I don't think this can be repaired anymore. It was one of those conversations. Again, it was 5 years ago. It was further than that. And my home camera has switched itself on. So if you try and break in, I'm going to get your face on my camera in the infrared. We took the decision to get a new boiler, and again, expensive. So I did the YouTuber thing where I thought, hey, maybe people would want to help, because some people, again, when you've got, I don't know how many subscribers I had at the time, I don't know, 18,000 subscribers, if everyone puts in £1, pays for itself, isn't it? But YouTube doesn't work like that, and there are many people out there who resent you asking for help. I mean, I'm here, I do what I do, and if you get some entertainment and solace out of it, and you like getting it for free, fine. But if you have some money and you want to help, there's nothing wrong with that either. It cuts always. I do not mind. So I put it out there. Boy, it annoyed some people. Certainly annoyed the troll. I know that. Certainly annoyed my stalker. So yeah. It's tricky, because I know people want to help. There are nice people out there. A lot of nice people out there, and they do want to help. And if they hear that you're having a problem or whatnot, they either send you, if they can't send you money, they can send you good thoughts and positive energy. So, it's like that. So yeah, I'm kind of worried that the body's going to blow up now. Yeah, because it's like everything else. I just cleared my credit card bill, and now I've got to pay for this fucking dog. Back to square one again. Like I said, I have to sell something. I've got stuff to sell. I got stuff to sell. But I just want. I was looking forward to going to 2023 without having like a debt and like maybe saving some money. But I still haven't heard anything about the insurance. Or I haven't even got the bill from the vet yet. I talked to them. I sent them the insurance letter over, and then there was a little bit of a tussle with, I said, well, I need you to fill it in so I can claim the money. So wait on that. We're still waiting for Anna's remains to come back. We've had her put in a little epoxy resin urn like Alex, though they didn't have any border. No, she's not border. What was she? Parson Russell. Though I think she was a border Jack. So we got to put in a Jack Russell, because it kind of looked like a Jack Russell head. It's going to be a bit smaller, but they didn't have the right dog. But she's earned a place under the telly next to Alex. So I know it's weird, but they're my guardian spirits. They're looking after me, So yeah. So we'll wait for that to arrive. And and then like I said, we've got this thing happening. So it's all going to be rather interesting, and we're sliding towards Christmas, and that's making me bloody feel weird. Because it's Christmas. And then, like I said, I was going to tell you, I was going to do, oh God, I was trying to hide my tears, and I now look all red. And I got a bit moist thinking about dead dogs, like you do. So I needed some new tablets. So I ordered some new tablets the other week, because you do it via app for me diabetes. That load of bollocks. And I thought, well, I'd do it to avoid the postal strikes, because I have them sent to them. I have the drugs sent through the post rather than collecting them at the local pharmacy, because I did that to avoid COVID and whatnot. But also, these pharmacies are full of sick people. You never know what you're going to pick up. Dirty sick people. and then nothing happened. So I got in touch with the doctor's surgery, and she said, well, we're not allowed to release anything to you till the 19th of December. And I'm thinking, oh, well, that's me fucked then. And she, because she phoned me up, said, oh no, you can't have anything till the 19th of December. I said, but there's a postal strike, and I want to miss the postal strike, and the post's been slowed down. And she said, no, 19th, because you've had 3 months' supply of pills. And I'm thinking, no, I haven't. You send me 4 boxes, 28 in a box. 28 is, and I take 2 a day, so that's fortnights. I think it's a fortnight. You send me 2 months. I think it's just over 2 months worth of tablets. So they got their calculations wrong. So I'm heading towards Christmas. We're going to run out of pills, So, I can't stand dealing with all this stuff. I really can't. Everything's a ball ache, Things that should be simple. I think they won't be happy until I personally go into the surgery every time I've run out of tablets and bang on the counter like every other old fart. I've seen them do it. I think that's the only thing they respond to, because what do I think I'm going to do? Take an overdose of metformin? Is that what I think I'm going to do? I'm not hoarding them, so that's going to be fun. So I'm looking at limiting my supply, taking 1 a day, so I can get over Christmas. But I hate dealing with the doctor's surgery. Oh dear, where are we? Ash says Peter Case and tickets for 2025. Well, he's been out of action for a while in comedy. Everyone knows that comedy is the new rock and roll. No, I think that was Newman and Baddiel that said that, wasn't it, back in the 90s? Do you remember that? Do you remember when they were like the first comedians to sell out Wembley Arena? Do you remember? Do you remember when comedy was the new rock and roll? Do you remember that? But yeah, Peter Kay's a much beloved comedian for those who aren't from the UK, and he's all right. I don't mind him. He's all right. Didn't like what he did to Dave Spikey and the rest of the cast of Phoenix Nights, but there you go. He's got a little bit of an ego. He likes a lot of credit, but no, he's all right. I don't mind him. So, and I know again he postponed his tour. There was various reasons. I wonder what they were. I guess we'll never know. But yeah, so he can afford to book till 2025, because I think all his stuff has sold out, hasn't it? It's sold out really quickly, and that's amazing. That's amazing. That people want to go and see, a comedian on stage, pay all that money, because it's not cheap if you want good tickets. I think it's slightly cheaper than seeing an old rock band, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool if you like that kind of thing. Convinced Suze, nobody listens to me when I say Peter Gable's Exposure of Scratch is one of the best of his career. Dirty Levin bass. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a bit wonky, it's interesting. Fasana says, I've seen a lot of pitbull mixes at rescue dog centres. They're a breed to get a rat, but they make good pets. I'm not a fan of them. They're just not, they're not. I like dogs with a face. I like dogs with an actual muzzle. Some of them are a bit kind of smushed. But no, I'm not really a pitbull. I mean, I know the pitbull bitches are really good and everything, and they're good mama dogs and everything. But nah, I want something a bit more. A bit more dog-like, and also it's the connotations. People with pit bulls are a bit not good people. They're all they're all drug dealers. Oh no, I'm doomed now. But no, you have a certain preference for certain breeds. I mean, I never thought I'd own a Westie, and then I saw Alex looking sorry for himself, sitting in the corner, and I went, I'll give him a go. I took him for a walk, and he conned me by walking really nicely in the paddock, in the meadow. And I said, he's a good walker. And then when I got him home, he played me up merry hell, the little sod. And again, same with Hannah. She was chosen because why did we choose Hannah? I saw her on the Battersea website, and there was just something about her, because she looked a bit like a border collie, she looked like she needed a break, and she was the right size, not too big. I don't want a big dog, medium sized dog. I don't know, it's just something about her. And when we went there, they usher you in. There was a dog next to her called Harley or Harley. He was jumping up going, "Me, choose me, don't choose her, choose me." He had no kids. And we're saying, "Sorry mate, can't choose you because I have these little people with me. I've got to choose her because she said kid friendly." And Anna, we saw her and she looked at us and went to the back of the cage, sat down and turned her back to us and just kind of looked around as if to say, "I like it here, I ain't going nowhere." Yeah, she gave us the cold shoulder. She gave us the cold shoulder. There we go. Very, very cool dog. That. Thomas says, even a standard boiler is now more expensive than the space shuttle. God, yeah, they've got these special ones. Convinced says, your stalker is from New Zealand. No, he isn't. Says in his channel description, nope, that's a bluff. He's not from New Zealand. Trust me. That's because there's another fellow who's from New Zealand who's a bit, he's a bit odd. He's not from New Zealand, don't worry. For someone says, a stalker may be a woman. Do you think so? I doubt it. Women have better things to do with their time. And I've already been stalked by a woman anyway, so I did that way back in 96, 97, so I'm used to this. Thomas gives me another £2. He says, you're making me feel guilty. At this rate, Thomas, we're getting there. I need one of those pocket watches. You are feeling sleepy. You will give me all your money. I know what I can do. Here we go. Got it. Right. Here we go. Right. Right. You are feeling sleepy. You are feeling very tired. You will give me all your money. All your money. Send it all to me. To me. So I can buy dogs. Buy not guitars. Dogs. That's magic, that is. Honest. Don't get this don't get this kind of improvised comedy on other YouTube spaces. This is unique. I tell you, my head's bloody warm. I tell you that. Convinced says, Darren, the red-nosed reindeer. Feel free to blub. I can't help it. It's just me nose. I'm like it all the time. I ain't blubbing. My nose. As you get older, I think all the blood vessels go to your nose. It's like I'm permanently pissed, and I'm not. I don't drink. Simon says, ladies from down under, easy on the eyes. Okay. Scott says, evening. Very festive indeed. I'm trying to get everyone in a festive mood. I want you to adorn your baubles with tinsel and give them a shake. And, feel like the spirit of Christmas has entered into you. That's what I want. Thomas says, he's talking to... Scott says, just finished watching the new Hellraiser movie. It was bloody awful. I'm not brave enough to go near it. Sorry. I know people have gone, oh, it's great. It's got a trans woman in the lead role. A man. It's got a man in the lead role. It's like, great. So, nothing different then. The problem with the original is because it is a little bit rough and it's a little bit, that's what makes it great. It's dirty. It's grubby. It's a grubby movie. It makes you feel dirty watching it. It's because it's about lust and desire. And I saw the second one at the cinema, Hellraiser 2, because my neighbour, who I lived next to, she was in it. She was a skinless woman and she had to leave at like 4 a.m. by cab. And she had to wear this body prosthetic. She's told me all about it. She's very slim. And I think she was South African. And she was very slim, and she described how they put her in this prosthetic suit. And you've got to remember when this was, 88 I think it was. So yeah, it was before CGI and that. It was all then she was covered in fake blood, and that sounded awful. But yeah, so there you go. I knew the skinless woman. There you go, from Hellraiser 2. Not many people got that claim to fame. There you go. Convinced says the association of dogs being like their owners, maybe. Convinced says, he's talking to Scott. Thomas says the thing's not having any effect. Damn, I need to practice. Simon says Hellraiser's gone woke. I haven't seen any of them after the second. I've seen quite a few of them because they've just been on the telly, and they get progressively worse. Hellraiser in space, why not? But you've got to remember, Clive Barker's always been, woke, because of his background and everything. But again, rebooting stuff, it just gets a bit tiresome, over and over and over again. And a lot of the 80s movies, because they've been threatening to reboot Highlander for, as long as I can remember, 20 years. And it's like, please don't do that. I think Henry Cavill was attached to it at one point. You think, please don't do that. And now they're going to reboot Flash Gordon, and I think Taika Waititi was attached. And you think, well, yeah, he can do camp because we've seen him do it with the Thor movies, but really, do we need to keep rebooting things? Can we have something new? And that's what's good about The Northman, is it's a new product. It's not new, but at least it was something different. It wasn't an established IP that's been rejiggered and but Hamlet. No, yeah, but you know what I mean. It goes back further than Hamlet. It's the source material for Hamlet. So yeah, I don't know. And there's nothing wrong with being woke, i.e., being considerate of topics, social topics. It's when people are virtuous with it, and pushing it all the time, morning, noon, and night, like it's a religion. That's my problem with it, And I don't know. You're not woke enough if you don't take the knee, or you don't, support this, or you don't do that, and you go, yeah, all right, whatever. Again, I'm from the 80s. I'm a lefty from the 80s who was trying to, stamp out racism and sexism and homophobia, and look where we are. We've got more racism, more sexism, and more homophobia, and you just think, this isn't working. But it's never going to change because humans are stupid. Again, like take today, I did a review of 24 Hours in Police Custody. All right, and it's an interesting case. It's about a guy who was picking up young girls, and it was unusual because he was like 20, 21. And the police were saying, well, normally it's older men that do this, a lot older. So he was a unique case study. So I talk about it, and lo and behold, a little racist pops his head up and says, "You didn't mention the Rotherham grooming gangs. What about the grooming gangs of Luton and whatever? Why didn't Channel 4 cover that?" And I'm like, well, look, man, it's 24 Hours in Police Custody. It's like an individual case. Those cases are incredibly complicated. You'll never get it in that show, And he called, and then because it was race baiting, I deleted the comment because that's not what the show was, and it's like went on. I said, well, look, you're a racist, and I don't want you to antagonise people because that's not what this show was about. This show was about something else, about the investigation. It was really interesting, and how complex the investigations are because it involved multiple victims. And then he said, you said I was white, and he made up some bullshit lie about not being white. And I said, well, I never mentioned you were white. I said you're a racist and you're thick. And then he deleted the comment because when I looked at his YouTube channel, because he had one, he was white. So there's a lot of weird shit on YouTube with people coming on your comments trying to be, I don't know, left, right, in between, I don't know, yeah, what happened in the various grooming gangs in the UK is appalling. And yeah, There needs to be many documentaries made, but I think a lot of the cases are still ongoing, and a lot of them are interconnected, and it is a major scandal. So I don't know if we're ever going to get to the bottom of it, but it's this sense of doing the right thing that's got us into this position. We don't want to offend this group or that group, and you turn a blind eye to that, and then bad things happen. You have to treat, in the eyes of the law, everybody equally. There can be no excuses, and these are the times we live in, and that's where wokeness is a real problem, because it gets in the way of the law, social change. It allows criminals to hide, and that's a problem. We live in very strange times. Instead of actually improving everyone's lives, they're just making it worse and worse and worse. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thomas says, any thriller or horror movies should you recommend? I haven't seen a good thriller in years. Saint Maud, that was good, enjoyed that. Oh god, there was another one we watched. Oh god, I can't remember now. When you put me on the spot, I forget. What's his name's one? Ben Wheatley had one. Was it called Under the Earth? That was all right. If you like kind of that folk horror, it's like a folk horror thing. Bit of Wicker Man in there at the end. That's not a spoiler. It's just has that kind of folk horror feel to it. And that was done in COVID times, so there's a lot of distancing in that. Because it starts off with the premise that there's a virus going around and everyone has to distance. So that was a good one. I'm sure there's some others if I can remember. Convinced says, if I hear Shaking Stevens Merry Christmas in the car once more, I'll boycott the store, buy humbug. Boycott the store. Remember, we are the enemy of the co-op, for it was the cooperative that stocked newspapers when my newsagents was smashed to fuck, and they said, when you're back up and running, we'll stop selling newspapers, because they never did, because we were the only newsagents in town. And then when we came back, the bastards kept selling their papers, and my mum threatened. She went in there and threatened to throw their newspapers out the front door. I was going to buy all their newspapers up and then, send them back to Menzies and get the credit. But it would just be too much trouble. But yeah, fuck the co-op. They're no friend of mine. Remember, there are no friends in business, and it's just business, folks. It's not personal. Scott says the Terrifying movies are great. Convinced says Leprechauns in Space with Warwick was shite, but I love the guy. Exactly, Warwick Davis is great. He liked one of my tweets the other day because I said he's great, and I said how I wanted him. It's a shame because I really wanted him to helm the reboot of Time Bandits, but woke agenda. Reboot of Time Bandits, all regular sized people in it. Not one little person, not one little actor. And again, it was the granddaughter of Jack Purvis, who was in the original film, and she's a little person herself, said this is wrong. Because if you noticed in a lot of films now, unless it's what's his name from Game of Thrones, Dinklage, unless it's him, they don't use the small actors anymore. They reduce people. And Time Bandits is one of my favourite films, and it's a great, again, Gilliam's the only person who could pull that off, where he makes small people the heroes. They're doing stunts, they're swinging on ropes, and it shows that even little people can be heroes. It's such a positive film, and I think Taika Waititi is responsible for that as well. So fuck him as well, fuck them all. It annoys me. And I think Warwick Davis is he's lucky. I think he's the only actor who can get employed because of his name and his association with Star Wars and whatnot. But yeah, that's wrong, and that's being woke, because they don't want to offend people, but they end up discriminating against the disabled, because again, people of restricted height, some of them are, disabled, if you know what I mean. Some are not. Again, it all depends on the individual, and it's very discriminatory, and it annoys me. It really annoys me, because they have this blind spot. The woke have a blind spot where they end up being the very thing they claim that they're not. So there you go. Scott says, I'm really worried about the new Indiana Jones movie. They de-aged him. Did you notice that? They de-aged him. I quite like the Crystal Skull. We want Shia LaBeouf back. Just do it. Do it. Just do it. Am I a fan of Indiana Jones? I like the first one. Second one, third one, it's only good when the growl bit at the end. Yeah. And fourth one, Crystal Skull. I must admit, I did enjoy it. I thought it was bonkers fun. So my favourites are the first one and the fourth one. God, everyone's going to hate me now because you're not supposed to like the Crystal Skull one. But I thought it was good. And it's got Ray Winston in it. Indiana Jones, you slag. I'm the daddy now. Give me the Crystal Skull. You mugging me off? That's how I remembered it anyway. It may not have gone like that. But I wouldn't worry about it. Scott says, even the title sounds awful. Was it? It's Indiana Jones and the Hip Replacement of Fate, isn't it? Isn't that what it is? Isn't that the full title, I believe? Convinced says, Top Gun, Maverick. Feels so, but unnecessary. I've not seen it. And do you know what? I've not seen the original either. Because Tom Cruise, he's a massive Scientologist. I can't. I have to limit my Tom Cruise intake. Otherwise, Otherwise, Xenu will take me over and say I've got too many thetans that need to fall into a volcano to be nuked, apparently. I don't know. We live in a strange world. Thomas says, even if you mention the word immigration, you'll get called a right-wing extremist these days. 500,000 people came in, didn't they? We're an island. I've got no problem with immigration. This is the thing. Because this country, we are a nation of immigrants. That's the thing. We are a nation of immigrants. Again, I come from Huguenot stock, as far as I know. Back in the day, there's probably other bits of me as well. But it's not like the infrastructure is, invested in. The roads around here are falling apart. It's hard to get a bloody doctor's appointment, dental appointment. Forget about it unless you go private. And you feel like this country is falling apart. Oh, let's rejoin the EU. That's not going to help. That's not going to help at all. Did you notice Keir Starmer said rejoining the EU would be a waste of time? Notice that because economically it would be. But because some guy who, I don't know, makes cheese in Kent, exports some cheese, everyone thinks we should be part of the EU. God blimey. But, yeah. I've got no problem with immigration, but I just think I think we do need to start maybe having a control on it or limit it or having a point system, because I don't know, I just feel like there feels like there's more people around. It feels like there's more cars on the road. Everything feels busier, and we live, out of London, and it's just that feeling of everything just feeling a little more busier. And again, I don't really know how many people are actually here. The census data is, is skewed, But if people want to come and live here, I ain't got a problem with that. Why not? We should be proud of it. We should be proud that everyone wants to live here, because this is the greatest place on earth. That's why I'm moving to America. I'm joking. Imagine me living in America. They'd kick me out. They'd find some reason to get rid of me. But yeah, I don't know. And you're going to see more of this, especially with climate change and the environment. You're going to see more people moving across Europe, not just to here, but to Central Europe and whatnot. You're going to see, it will be climate change and environmental issues, flooding, drought, all the usual things, famine. that you're going to see more people mobilising and moving from their countries, across the land masses, because that's what happened before in the past, in the old days. When the cavemen got hungry, they moved on. And that's how humanity spread out of Africa and across the face of this planet. But yeah, I don't know. Is it worth worrying about? I don't know. I'll probably be dead soon. I don't really worry about it, but I wish to just spend the money fixing things and making things better, and they don't. And if we had more people here, there'd be more tax paid and more jobs and more opportunities, and they could spend that tax money, I don't know, making everything better. But instead they give it to their cronies and on dodgy contracts, and propping up an NHS which is woefully mismanaged, and money's pissed out of that thing. Don't get me wrong, love the NHS, delivered me 2 kids, saved my life, but that needs to be completely restructured. You get me talking about politics. Shouldn't do that, it just makes me feel miserable. But everyone's a racist. But the thing is race isn't real. Race doesn't exist. We're all human beings. That's the thing. Race was invented by racists to discriminate between men. Look it up. Because before race, it was the country you came from. He's from whatever. He's from there. He's a Russian. I.e., he's from that place. Pick a country. And it was where you were from geographically, and there was no concept of race, And then the racists came along and said, we must prove that person there is inferior to this person here, and we're going to do it on their cranial features, and, well, obviously their brain must be smaller and all this crap. Look it up. There is no such thing as race. Race was invented by racists to subjugate other men, and it's wrong. Sorry. Very woke. I'm very woke, You probably don't realise just how woke I am. But there's a limit. I think I'm not virtuous. I'm not going to virtue signal. That's the thing. I'm not virtuous. I'm a fallible human being like everyone else. I do not want my wings, but I'm incredibly woke. I'm aware of these things. But there you go. Convinced says, look what happened to Kanye West this week, being woke here, but the guy is a muppet. Mental illness, but you shouldn't allow mental illness. Where'd you start with Kanye West? Did you see him on the Alex Jones podcast? Alex Jones is sitting there going, "Nyeh. This guy's making me look sane." It was hilarious to watch Alex Jones squirm and say, I don't like Hitler either. Hitler's a bad man. It's stating the obvious, because Kanye has gone off the deep end. Again, he's somebody who suffered with his mental health. He has no one managing him, and he's allowed to run amok. And it's terrible. This is the face of mental illness, and that doesn't absolve him of the things he said, because how far can you, again, Alex Jones and the people that give him a platform are partly responsible. They should say, we're not platforming you, mate, because you're not well. You should get some help, But I fear it may end in great disaster for him, And it's a shame. He should do what he's good at, make music, and bang hot birds, because, if you've got lots of money, that's what you get to do, apparently. I wouldn't know. But yeah, insanity. I don't know. I'm gonna you watch it, it's like a slow motion car crash happening before your eyes, isn't it? And you go, come on, man, why isn't somebody taking care of him? Hasn't he got a family to look after him? Hasn't he got anyone to just pull him to one side and say, come on, man, this isn't right. Scott says, what's on your Christmas list? I don't have one. I'm 51 years old. I don't have a Christmas list. World peace, obviously. World peace and love. To everyone. Look, my balls are tickling my nose, look. That's not the first time I've said that. I don't know, what's on your list? Have you got a list? It's all about kids. Again, when you have kids, you know. I can hear voices. I wonder if that's coming from the car park. I'm trying to be quiet because of Verity's, she has trouble sleeping, so I have to be very quiet. I don't know, I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Because, you know, I've got everything I want, I think. I don't know, sometimes I'd like a new computer, because this one, sometimes when I do stuff, it makes noises like it's going to take off. So I wouldn't mind one of those fancy, super fast Macs, but I don't know, I'd have to sell the computer. Well, I'd sell the computer, obviously, but I don't know. But I I wouldn't mind a Blu-ray player, a HD, was it a UHD Blu-ray player that plays all the regions and a DVD, because I'd like one of those, because I've got a load of American DVDs I can't play anymore. Thanks, because my Denon blew up this time a few years back, about 3 years ago. 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It just stopped working. That was multi-region. But no, again, I'm not really in the market. I mean, I don't know. Fazana says, I'm a leftist from the 80s as well, but I feel woke culture is less about being tolerant than being political. Oh, there's no tolerance. This is it. The whole point is it's all about intolerance, because what it is fascism. Because if you want to silence people and you don't want to enter debate and you want to control how a person lives, how they make a living, and if you want to destroy them, it's just fascism. Because if you're a proper, I know, socialist or leftist or anyone of any reasonable mind, you want to challenge people's ideologies or thoughts. You know, you want to have a discussion, you have a debate, because that's what humanity is about. We are creatures of language and thought, and it's a very dangerous world we live in when, you know, people are just getting, you know, cancelled, I don't know, deplatformed, I don't know what you want to call it, because they're riding against the tide. You know, yeah, I think if you break the law, if you incite racial hatred and things like that, yeah, you should be banned. But again, it should be about the law. If you've been proven to do this in a court of law, then you're banned. But if you haven't, then not so much. You know, it's like Alex Jones, deplatforming because, you know, of his verdict from the Sandy Hook thing. You know, just get him off because he broke the law. You know, he did terrible things to those poor parents. You know, but other people, you know, again, if you stay within the law, yeah. If you break the law, no. We shouldn't be having kangaroo courts. Shouldn't be judge, jury and Russell's in, he says hi. Scott Taylor says, oh, where are we? The witch? What witch? What, the witch is on my Christmas list? No. Convinced says, people sometimes hide behind free speech to justify their hate actions. Sad people. Again, there are laws for that. If you're inciting racial hatred, or, you know, again, some places Holocaust denial is illegal, then the law steps in. But again, the police don't want to get involved because it's such a big, you know, big thing to take on. You know, so, you know, again, we live in strange times. I think social media has been a real setback for humanity and politics, because you've seen extremes of both left and right. You know, that's why, you know, I say I'm a centrist, because I don't feel obliged to either of those sides of the argument. I want to sit in the middle and watch both of these, you know, was it both, you know, cheeks of the same arse, you know. And I think any sensible person is in the middle. I think all politically, most sensible people are in the middle, you know. Economically, you're of the right, and socially, you're of the left. That's usually the mix of most people. You know, because we live in a capitalist society, but we don't want to see, you know, the poor being exploited. Well, at least I think most of us are right-minded like that. You know. But yeah, like I say, we live in really odd times where everyone's trying to prove themselves more worthy than the next, and no one's got any humility, and no one's got any tolerance, and no one's got any understanding. Again, people just don't understand. They take everything literally. Everything you say is literal, and that's really concerning. Yeah. Scott says, "Did you like A Field in England?" Oh, that was a long time ago. Did I like it? I don't know. I vague. It was didn't they do like a live simulcast where they showed it in the theatre? I think I watched it then. It was on Sky or something, and I remember there being a lot of weird shit. I might need to watch that one again. I think I just went. I like Kill List that Ben Wheatley did. I think I've seen most of his movies actually. Let me have a look. IMDb, because he did some Doctor Who, didn't he, as well? He directed some Doctor Who. Oh, Free Fire, that's the one I haven't seen. I've seen High Rise. Sightseers, yeah, I've seen that one. Kill List. What was the other one about? Was it Terrace? Down Terrace, that was it, yeah, seen that one. He also directed The Wrong Door, which is a comedy series from 2008, which is really again, it came and it went, and it's kind of a gentler version of Monkey Dust, and I kind of enjoyed that one. But I only ever saw it once. It was only on once, because he did some comedy stuff first. But yeah, he hasn't got any projects on the horizon. Upcoming, oh wait a minute. He's directing Freak Shift and The Meg 2, The Trench. That's the one with the giant prehistoric shark in it, with Jason Statham. Crank 2. My favourite films ever. I love those films. Jason says, Terrified 2 I thought was really fun if you like gore and clowns. I'm not a fan of clowns. I'm not scared of them, I just don't get them. It's just like, what? Thomas says, thanks for the film recommendations, I'll try both. You're welcome. Or are you talking to someone else? For someone who says, trailer for new Indiana Jones looks good. I thought it was alright. I mean, he's got Indiana Jones in it, and that's what you want. You've got Harrison Ford. And they de-aged him. Did you see that? I think, because everyone's worried about, maybe what's her name from Fleabag's going to take over. I think they're going to digitally resurrect him. I think they're going to do loads of Indiana Jones movies where it's just digital indie running around. AI. Trust me on this. It's going to come out that Harrison Ford signed his digital rights over to Lucasfilm, or wherever it is. Who is it now? Disney? I don't know who owns who anymore. And you're going to see digital Harrison Ford. And he's going to be just as expressive and just as good. Thomas says, free speech really has died now, though. Can't really say anything anymore. I think you can. But it's certain groups can't talk. Women are targeted for looking after their rights. Again, you've got to remember, women threw themselves under horses to have the right to vote. They was working towards equality for 100 years, and look at the state of feminism now. It's been under attack by men. Men have infiltrated it. It's like, what? Women demand safe spaces because 99% of all sex attacks are committed by men. That's a fact. A statistical fact. And this is why if I'm out of the night walking the dog and I see a lone woman walking, I cross the street. Or I don't walk behind her. I will take a different route. Because, I don't need, to put any pressure on her or make her feel unsafe, because that's what women have to live with every day of their lives. Or if I am walking a dog and I see a woman walking on alone and there's another man, I will trail them and I'll keep an eye on things. I've done that in the past, because that's the world we live in. There's an interesting story about women's football. My great grandmother was part of the Munitionettes. I've got a picture. I have to dig it out of her. I might be able to find it in my archive if I'm lucky. I'll say that and I'll go in the archive and I won't be able to find anything because of the scans. Because you know what I'm like. I say. Oh dear, I say that and I can't find anything. Old photos. Is that it? Yeah, here we go. Hackney Munitionettes. I'm going to drag this on the screen. Here we go. My great grandmother, right, is with the Hackney Munitionettes Football Club. Here they go. And this is in 1918. And she is this lady here. Right? Munitionettes. Now, what you don't realise is whilst all the men were away in the war, women's football became the next thing. Did you realise that? Women's football became a really big thing. It replaced male football because all the men were fighting and getting killed in the trenches. So when the men came back from the war, well, I think it was around 1921, they banned women's football. They banned women's football. Why? Tell you why. Because women's football was more popular than men's football. And the women, they gave their money to the Hague Fund for the soldiers. And the FA at the time said, we cannot be having that. We cannot be having women giving away money to charity because we want to make money. And so they banned women's football. And it was banned for 50 years until 1971. Fact. Yeah. And so from 1971 to the present day, you've seen women fighting to get as popular as men's football. Now imagine if women's football wasn't banned in 1921. It would have been even bigger and even popular than men's football, and we wouldn't have all the bullshit we have now because women wouldn't have played for money, they'd have played for the sport of the game. And yeah, there you go, look that one up. It's all true, everything's a fact, and my great grandmother was a pioneer playing women's football. There you go, little story for you there. Come here, get a bit of education. Scott says, I like Crystal Skull too. Not sure it gets the hate. Neither do I. I thought it was... again, I watched that film and because everyone shit on it, and I thought, oh, okay, turn my brain off, and I enjoyed it more than 2 and 3. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really dopey. I thought it had that kind of, Saturday morning action movie newsreel type thing that the first one had. I thought Shia LaBeouf was really good in it. I thought he was fun, doing all the action, and it's a shame they've not reused him. Cate Blanchett was the villain, and she was chewing the scenery, and the CGI monkeys were hilarious. And the ants. What about the ants? I enjoyed it. But anyway, I like any old crap, so that's my problem, isn't it? For someone says, good Ray Winston impression. Is that a Geordie accent? No, because Ray Winston's from the same part of town as me. He's from the East End, isn't he? Cockles and mussels, up the old Kent Road, up the apples and pears. Thomas says, I have to respect Tom Cruise for the part he played in Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman. What a fantastic film. Yep, seen that one. Saw it when it was raining. One Friday afternoon, me and the missus went into town. Well, went to Walthamstow, and it started raining really heavily. So we ducked into the cinema, and what was on? Just coming on, Rain Man. So we went in and watched it. And I think, no, I've only watched 2 Tom Cruise films. There was that and Minority Report. But it's because Steven Spielberg. That was it. That was the only 2 Tom Cruise films I've ever paid to see. And little would I know that autism would come back to haunt me. But no, it's a very strong film. And Dustin Hoffman actually spent his time around those kind of institutions to understand the people. He put a lot of work in, and now he's actually been, castigated for it by the woke lot because, he's playing someone with a mental disability or whatnot. It's like, you can't cast someone in that role seriously. You can't. You have to. You can't. It wouldn't work. And also, you cast famous people, famous actors, because they get bums on the seats. That's how it works. But Thomas says, I'm really enjoying the stream tonight. Good. Thomas says, politics, music, dogs, movies, viruses, stomach bugs, energy bills, immigration. Where else can we get the level of diversity in one stream? Well, we just did women's football. The hippie drippy at heart. Oh yeah, I'm a hippie, man. Make love, not war. No, I'm a live and let live kind of guy when it comes down to it. I'm leave everyone alone. Leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Get in my face, and I'll still leave you alone. It's just I think everyone's lost their way. It's a real shame. I'm really disappointed by the internet because I thought it would lead to more of this, where like-minded people get together and just communicate and talk. But you see so much bullshit out of this, so much nonsense. And that's without what I have to go through with my loon, and all the misrepresentation and the lies that are posted. It doesn't care that my kids might see it, or potential employers might see it, but I'm just the tip of the iceberg. For me, there are more and more people that go through that kind of nonsense, and it's the police are taking it seriously now, thank God, and women have online stalkers and things like that. And then there's the hate. There's this thing. I mean, crikey, I have a bit of a stalker on Facebook as well, who seems to not understand humour. He's either, I don't know if these people are thick, or they're playing at being thick, or they just don't like you, and you became their obsession. I can't really understand it, because life's too short. You could be living and loving and doing the things you really enjoy. Is that what fuels you? Is that what makes you tick? I don't understand the psychology of it. It's alien. And that's what's disappointed me, because I thought we'd all get together and it would make everyone. And you'd think that all the politics would be melted away, because we'd all talk to each other and we'd understand that a person on one side of the world is just the same as another person on the other side of the world, and skin and religion, it's all meaningless, because we're all the same. We just want, we want to be loved and to have security and to have a happy, productive life. That's all anybody wants, right? But the internet has suddenly come along, and social media has just allowed the mentally ill. That's not fair on the mentally ill. The malicious people, I'm going to call them malicious people, to really fuck around. I think it's really damaging. I think this is why Elon Musk has, taken over Twitter, because he said he saw it as a real danger to civilization. Because again, the current state of thinking is how civilizations crumble. I know it sounds really melodramatic, but if you look how Rome and the ancient Greeks, how their civilizations, they got a little bit sloppy, and we're in the danger of I don't know, getting a little bit sloppy and missing something, something that could destroy us. So the end of the world as well. Blimey, the end of civilization caused by social media. Now, I don't think it'll be the cause of it, but I think we'll be too distracted by the wrong things. It's a distraction. Where are we? Convinced said, oh no, I've done that one. Gordon Horn retracted his message. He came here to play his own horn. Trumpet. No, it didn't work, did it? What was I thinking of? I was round the horn? No, I don't know. It's getting late. Scott says, I got your new 68 musical history download. Some really nice instrumentals on it. I think I'm up to about track 34. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, again, it's been 30 years, and I thought, well, if I drop dead, it'd be nice to have something permanent. I was trying to do some CDs of it, but because of the cost of the dog, I can't afford to buy a dog and to burn CDs at the same time, because I don't know. I don't think anyone's interested in buying a triple CD compilation. And I'm not, people say, oh, these eBay. I'm not. It's just, it's expensive to do this. And I wish I had more YouTube money and eBay money to do the projects that I wanted. But, it's hard. And things get expensive. And I don't really want to, pass too much of the cost on to the fan, if you know what I mean. I'd like it to be as cheap as possible, but like I said, when you're doing small runs, and I have to do very small runs of CDs now because CDs are just, well, my CDs have gone out of fashion, so I think people are more interested in the streaming side of things. It's more expensive to do CDs, and it's a shame because, I'd like to do more. I like designing them. I like, putting them together. It thrills me to, he says, whoops, to pull up a CD. And what did I just drop on the floor then? I've just dropped a CD on the floor. I can't reach it. Where's my, I've got a drumstick. That'll help. Come here, you little bugger. Come here. Oh, I still can't reach it. Oh, wait a minute. There's a big danger of me banging my head on the drawer. Stretch. Ow. My shoulder. I fell on this shoulder on the 25th of June whilst walking Hannah, and it's still not fixed itself. What was I reaching for? You're looking into the... Oh, I've lost a CD. Shit, have I dropped another one? Was it there? Oh no, it's there. Look, these are the masters. Look, the masters of the CDs that I was going to get made, and then, like I said, I had to buy another dog. I've got to buy another dog, so I couldn't afford them. But look, these are the masters. It's like being at Real World Studios. This is. I've got all the masters here. Look. There's the master of Fragments. Look. And there's the master of L. Look. And there's that one. Oh, and there's Flags. There's the master of Flags as well. I just have them rattling around and I fall on the floor, and then I find them when I'm doing the hoovering. There you go. Oh, Gordon says, do you take part in Whamagegi? We don't. Shh. I heard it on the last day of November. The man on the radio played it for me. I can't remember what he's the guy that does the breakfast show that the missus listened to, and he played that song, which we can't name. Yes, last year I made it. The previous year I didn't. I think I got done around the 4th day or 5th day. I'm going to do my best. But I was asking, if you're in a different room, do you have to be in the same room as it? What if a car drives past and they're playing it on the car radio? Is that a drive-by Whamageddon? Is there such a thing? I don't know. I'm concerned. Like, say if I hear it downstairs, say the neighbours have got it on, does that count? Because I'm not physically, in the room? I don't know, I need to look up the rules. I'm a bit concerned. I'm worried. But yeah, I do play that game. Scott says, I can definitely notice how you've devolved. The production gets better as well. I'd recommend it to anyone here that likes variation in their music. Well, again, I'm one of those people, and then there's a lot of stuff you haven't heard, thankfully. But when I started playing, I started recording, and so it's like I've recorded everything I've done. Sort of that's how I learned to play, and so I've got the tape archive of all the real bad shit, which is unlistenable, where I'm playing, recording drum machines and learning bass, and so that's how I learn crafting and getting used to it. But yeah, again, I feel like I've kind of plateaued. And I don't know, I worry that there's no more music left, But I'm glad you've enjoyed it, keep plugging on. It's really good. It is good. Honest. And it's £1. Oh, I should really promote it, shouldn't I? If you haven't seen it. Oops. Where are we? let me get it up. It's £1, but of course you can pay more because you are getting 68 tracks of stuff, you know, or you can get a free download. There is a free download code on a video that I made, but hey, it's only £1. Come on, I could do with £1. I try and promote this stuff, but yeah, there's 68 tracks, and it's, fuck me, many hours of music, and it covers almost everything. Thomas says, I think the majority of people have become more selfish since the pandemic. No, I think more people have become, I think they've realised that there's more to life than stuff, you know, and if that means you're selfish, I think people have just become a little bit more introverted, you know, introspective, and I think they realise that you can be in a room on your own and not have a panic attack. You know, you can live without all that trappings and fripperies and, you know, all that extra shit that they pump into you. You know, you don't need to go to the coffee shop to have an experience. You don't need to go to the gym. You don't need to be seen doing stuff. You can exist in your own realm and have full control of your life. And I think, you know, the lockdowns show people that. People have learned to cook, and people have learned to read and write, and, you know, write for themselves. I mean, not learn to read and write. They've read books, and you know what I mean. I learned how to read and write. Not like that, but you know what I'm saying. People have, you know, become more creative and, you know, worked on themselves. And I think it's been very important for some people. I think they've realised that, you know, don't need to be doing that. I don't need to distract myself with all that other stuff. I can work on me. And that's important. It's a really important thing, I think. Russell says, I think it's weird when there are warnings of tobacco smoking on older TV shows. This show features themes and language which may be problematic. It's like, come on. Really? Really? I should put Love Thy Neighbour back on. And Mind Your Language. Convince says, isn't it good? I've been listening to it on the Bandcamp page. I don't make any money like that, mate. Listen to it on Spotify or on YouTube. Then I get a shiny virtual penny for every listen. I don't get any money from Bandcamp, right? Bandcamp, they screw me over. They screw me over just as bad as Spotify and everyone else. They really do. But they do the website and everything, and the storage, so whatever. But yeah, it's there. Enjoy if you can get through it all. It starts off a bit rough. Though I put something on there which is quite interesting. It's a thing called Excerpt from Arc, right? Which I did in 1993, which wasn't for general consumption. And that I resurrected on Fragments. Yeah, I re-recorded it. And it was funny going back and dragging it back and re-recording it and making it modern. That was nice. There was a few ideas. There were 3 or 4 old ideas that I pulled from some early tapes and did on Fragments. That's why I call Fragments, because there's bits and pieces, you know, intermingling. So that was fun. Again, I've kind of been looking a bit backwards, you know, a bit more, you know, because of old age. And, you know, some Fragments was hard to record because my hand was giving me some jip and that, and it was painful to record. Yeah, God's telling me to stop making that shitty music. I'll cripple you, you bastard. You know, so, yeah. But enjoy. It's just, again, it's just my hobby. So, you know. Gordon says, I agree. I work in retail. Folk have become so entitled. Trust me, they were always like it. Again, when I worked in retail back in the 80s, and when I had my shop, trust me, it ain't the pandemic. They've always been like it. You just probably haven't noticed it. Free Fire is great, says Scott. He's talking about Ben Wheatley's movies. Sightsee is great as well. Very black comedy, that one. I've lost again Free Fire. I don't know why. Isn't that when they're in a warehouse and they're shooting each other? I think that's just the whole concept of it, isn't it? I don't know why I haven't seen it. Maybe it's been on Sky and I just didn't make the connection. It was Ben Wheatley's film because of the title of it. Maybe I thought it was like a Jason Statham action movie. Nothing against him. I love Crank and Crank 2, remember? Where are we? Where are we? I've lost me thread. Russell says, I liked Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. Good for you. For someone who says, some of the worst films I've ever seen were going into the theatre to get out of the rain. See, I'm very forgiving of films. You know, even films I don't like. I like movies. I do like movies. It's very few movies that I'll go, oh, why did I watch this? Black Swan, personal bugbear. I think it's because that was Darren Aronofsky, and I liked his, was it Pie and what's the other one he did? One with Hugh Jackman in it. Huge Jackman, Tree of Life. No, that ain't right. That's the other one. That's the other fella. Oh, the one that he was in a spaceship was a tree, and he was a conquistador, but he wasn't. And then his wife died, and then he was sad, and then that one. Where are we? Thomas says, what a fantastic stream. Thank you for this, Darren. It's helped my stress. Well, that's what we're here for. Again, it's been an interesting year because, like I said, with what happened to Alan and other people have said, previously that they come for these streams. I know there's not a great viewership, but some people watch this afterwards, and and that's why we do it. Don't make it. I need doing this. Don't make money on the streams. Make money on the unboxings. I should be doing that. But no, it's about having a little chat on a Tuesday, and I like it. Again, if we were all here having a chat, I can, I think I should have been a DJ. I think I was in the wrong profession. I should have been a late night DJ and talking people down off ledges and things like that. But it's, I don't know. I like doing it. I just like having a chat, and because I'm not a very sociable person, in the real world, I find it hard to give my time to other people. I don't have any friends. I have no friends. I just have my family, and that's why I need a dog, because they're my friend. And it's because I'm not very good. I'm good with people. I'm very good with people, but I find it very hard giving myself to people in terms of my time. It's weird, and my daughter's the same. She's turned out exactly the same. I thought she'd be better, but it's a genetic thing. My grandfather was the same. I mean, my grandfather was a very lonely, well, he wasn't a lonely man, but he never had any friends. He never allowed anyone round to his home. He never let his own brothers, and he had a number of brothers, not one of them ever came round. He'd see them if he went to his favourite social club. And every Christmas, I remember he used to take me to see an old friend of his who was getting on, and he'd take him a Christmas present all wrapped up, usually a bottle of something. And he'd do that every Christmas, and that was his little pilgrimage, and he'd take me sometimes to see him. This old fella was knocking on a bit, going a bit old, a bit blind and deaf. And, I said, I feel that in me, you see. Special things that you hold on to. I've tried it, but I'm just really bad at it, because I'm a bit intense, but this I can do because I know it's 2 hours, and I can give you my time, and that's about as best as I can do, because I know I'm going to disappoint you, or you're going to disappoint me, and I hold people highly, in high regard, and that's the problem. I think I don't know, there's something broken in my brain, but I get disappointed by people or bored with people, or again, it's been such a long time since I've had any kind of friendship. Odd, isn't it? But I've got the missus, she's my best mate too, so, and the kids, so this is it. I'm odd. But then that's why you come here, I'm odd, because these videos and these streams, these lowly populated streams, are presented by people that are on the fringes, because otherwise I'd be out doing something, wouldn't I? I'd be out drinking and screwing or whatever popular people do. But I'm here, chatting, and talking to you guys. So that's why I don't think it's very nice when people target small YouTubers, for whatever reason, because this is our outreach. This is what we do, and we're not doing it for anything else than making contact. I think that makes sense. And it's very humbling. Again, like I said, the Alan Harwood stuff, and when I posted about Hannah, everyone was very nice about it, and it makes me emotional because I know there are people out there that care. And this is again, all this year it's been bothering me ever since I got the letter. I've just got it over there. And you do this and you don't know what impact you're having on people, because it's all pretty one way, to a point. Until people tell you, and I've said it before, so I'm repeating myself. Sorry. Convinced says, I don't like the word hate. It's always too strong a word. I'm going to sound posh, but I'm replacing it with vehemently disdain. Hate is a strong word. I hate Brussels sprouts. Sorry, I hate Brussels sprouts. That's about it. I hate injustice and Brussels sprouts. Put it on a t-shirt. That's a pretty good t-shirt. Hate is a strong word. Hate, you imagine it's the level of where you'd want to destroy someone or something completely, and I've never reached that level, don't understand it, because there's always a chance of redemption. There's always a chance that person might, pull a baby from a burning building or find a cure for cancer. Every human has great potential. That's how we're here. That's how we're having this conversation, because of human potential. And even the lowliest person has the potential to do something great, and they might not even realise it. It could be just a smile, and it could change everything, and we don't realise it. We just don't realise it. And we're important and we're not important all at the same time. We're unique, but we're all the same, all at the same time. Because imagine some cosmic influence finding us. We'd look like bacteria in a petri dish to them, the same as ants look like nothing to us. But we're getting cosmic there. We're getting truly cosmic. So, but we don't know. We don't know what this is all about. We could be just passing through. This could be just like we're just at a caterpillar stage, and we're going to transform into something different on the other side. Energy. We're just energy. Floating on the cosmic sea. Remember that. Gordon said, I retract it due to a typo. It's alright, I'll let you off. Just look mysterious. Your head must be on fire in that hat. Yes, it's very warm, but I'm keeping it on because it's Christmas. Gordon says, yeah, it counts if you recognise it anywhere. Oh God, that's terrifying. I was hoping there might be a bit of elbow room. I can imagine people driving around with their car stereos up high with it on a loop just to annoy me. But I'm going to have to stick my fingers in my ears. Joseph says, hello, do you have a boxing for Division Bell 20th anniversary? No, it's gone. It's deleted. Sorry. See, look, they come here just to ponce off me. Unboxings. That's all I am to them. I'm their little unboxing whore. That's all they want from me. Sad, isn't it? Convinced says, glad to be here. I'm glad here. I'm glad everyone's here. Thomas says, I'm not sociable. I hate being around people in real life and suffer some fierce social anxiety, so I can relate. Yeah, but I don't suffer from social anxiety anymore because kids strip all that away from you. Kids with ASD certainly do, but even regular kids strip it away from you because they will embarrass you in front of big groups of people. So you soon learn not to care. I think it's very hard for men. I don't know about so much for women to make friends when they get a bit older. It's very difficult, unless I don't know, you go to the pub or the football or whatnot. But if you don't go to the pub or go to the football, I suppose I could go dogging. Might meet some male friends there, I suppose. I'm trying to get us back to the dogging thing at the beginning. I'm trying to do one of those cyclical kind of routines. I can end where we started with dogging. Maybe not. That's not working, is it? Convinced says, I have Asperger's. I've been getting. You have autism. Asperger's doesn't exist. It's autism, mate. Sorry, I don't want to be rude, but you're on the spectrum, my friend. Welcome. I welcome you, but Asperger's is just another bullshit term. The umbrella is, ASD. You are atypical. There you go. I've been getting out there before COVID. That happened. Been slowly becoming more connected. Well, again, another reason why I'm getting the dog so quick is because of Herb. It's been really upsetting him, and it's affecting him at school a bit, making him miserable. And he's really pepped up in the last few days because we found a new pet, we found a new companion, and again, Very's the same. She's looking forward to it. So, and tonight when I told him, we're doing it we're doing it at the end of the week. Yeah. He's hopefully, again, don't want to jinx it, and he's really pepped up. So I'm hoping it. I don't want to jinx it. I just want it to go through all right, and I hope the new companion is okay. Just a bit nervous about it. But there we go. Pumping fist. Who, me? Onanism? No, not me. Is there any such thing as catting? No, because again, dogging came from men taking their dogs for a walk, right? The idea is that you took your dog for a walk in the forest, and I don't know. But the thing is doggers don't take their dogs for a walk. They go there in their cars, and and then their missus stick their bums out the window. So I've been told. I watched a documentary on Channel 4 once, and it was the most depressing hour and 15 minutes I ever sat through. Just a load of overweight, ugly, miserable people trying to make out that they're having fun. It's like, go and stand in the cold with your junk out. It's like, nah, I'm too old for that. What, with my feet? Dogging with my feet? Are you kidding? He is. Everyone's ASD. Asperger's is again. It's a weird term because it makes it sound like you're not part of that group, But I don't know if it's over here. We don't use that. We just use ASD. And I think in America they tend to push the Asperger's tag, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but autistic spectrum disorder (ASD) is a really large umbrella, and it can be somebody who's high functioning, who just, like you say, have social anxiety, to somebody who can't bear clothes being on them and who's non-verbal and is aggressive and almost animalistic. It's a massive spectrum. Again, I've done a lot of reading and research on this. I'm not an expert, but and I've lived it. So again, I believe, my experience of it is I believe people who are ASD should be, again, it's difficult, should be integrated with their peers at an early age with as much support as possible, because I knew it would work with Food for Herb. I knew that if he saw, if he was with his little peer group, he'd start talking and he'd start, doing all the things. Again, socialising, he's having trouble. He's getting better now at school, he appears to have a social group. Again, when he was at junior school, he used to lie to me. He used to tell me stories about all his friends, and it didn't exist, because he wanted me to hear it. And it was so sad. And I say, I don't talk about this stuff because I suppose it's private. But anyway, you get the idea. There's lots of things to deal with. And again, I think I'm of the belief that we're all autistic. I think the first apes that got out of the tree were autistic. They wanted their own space. They thought differently. Sometimes I feel it in myself. I don't think I am. But when Herb played up, I felt it. I identified it. I felt the same feeling, so so that's it. The missus says I am, but I'm not. I don't think I am, but the missus says I probably am. So that's why you have obsessions, and you're obsessed about records and guitars and playing music and whatnot. And but I have a sound thing where if I'm in a big busy place, I can hear all the conversations at once. It becomes totally overwhelming. I'm like Superman. And when I was out, I used to, again, it's kind of eased off now as I got older. I think it's because my focus has shifted to the kids, and again, I think it's all about focus. But I can still do it. If I'm sitting in a pub or in a place, I can just take in everyone's conversation at once and hold the conversation that I'm in. Because the missus used to go, hey, what? How do you do that? Because I say, that table over there, and I'll be talking to her, but everything would be going on around me. But it used to become if it was like Blue Water shopping centre, it just used to be too much. I'd say, can we move? Can we move on, sort of thing? Find somewhere a bit quieter. I just thought I was being weird. I thought I was just being stupid. But then I saw it in Herb, Anyway, this has gone on for too long. So anyway, we better go to bed, because I've gone on far too long tonight. I've really talked too long. Shit, this is a long one. Shit, I forgot the time. I just got in a zone. Oh, there's somebody outside. There's motion. There's probably a car pulling past. The doorbell detected motion. Ping. Scott says, yeah, I saw that documentary as well. Put me right off. Really? I mean, I don't know about you. I like comfort. I like a comfy pillow and sheets and things, and bad enough doing it on the carpet. Carpet burns on your knees. Oh, the pain of it. Sorry. You get the idea. That's why I use the wellies. That's why I wear the wellies. Get better purchase on carpet, which you've got your wellies on. But no, not my idea of fun. Thomas says, dog it in Sub-Zero. No thanks. Exactly. Convinced says, I know about love. So I know about it, love. The spectrum. Bonuses and negatives. Get your coins ready, because it's double-headed. Indeed. Scott says, I'm ASD and I have dyslexia. I think I have asparagus. That is a joke. I've got to be careful, because some people will be mortally offended by that. I think it's funny. Thomas says, yeah, the spectrum of autism is vast. My brother is totally unique. Every autistic person is unique. I had the same conversation when the doctor, the female doctor, not that it makes any difference, I'm just saying it's because that's how I remember her. She said, so how do you feel about this? I said, I don't feel anything. I said, you might as well call him an elephant. I said, because giving him a tag doesn't change who he is. He's my son. It doesn't change who he is. He's my son. He's Herbie. It changes nothing. I didn't see it as a problem. Yeah, there's problems going on, but I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to say. Oh, take him away from me. I don't want to deal with this. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to solve problems. I'm here to pull everyone up. That's it. That's what I'm here for. I know who I am. I know my role. I know my place. And if I can pull any of you up, I'll do that too. If I can encourage you to be more sociable, or say, God, you know what, I'm going to do things differently, or I'm going to learn to play that guitar. If that arsehole can make music, so can I. I want you to be encouraged. There's no mystery. There's no mystery. There's no mystery at all. Convinces, I'm only joking, that was in poor taste. No, it wasn't. Someone says, night down, what a live stream it's been. Yes, it's been interesting. I do have to toddle off because it is bedtime. And I'm having trouble sleeping as it is. And, this is probably why I'm staying up late, because I have not been sleeping. And, I don't know if it's because of the dog going, or it's because I'm in December as well. This is a double thing where I get a little bit paranoid about December. As you've heard all that thing, because of being nearly dying in Christmas when with pneumonia when I was 13, and so I get a little bit angsty around this time of year, and I want everything to be perfect. And once I get past Christmas Day, relax, because I'm mad, So yeah, I've not been sleeping very well. I'm absolutely knackered. I'm exhausted, physically exhausted. So yeah, but I think I'm going to sleep tonight. I think I'm going to sleep. Anyway, it was a long one. That's what she said, and that will probably be the title of the stream, because I think this is one of the longest ones I've done. And it's been lovely chatting. It was a nice, intimate, friendly chat, and yeah, it was cool. Hopefully, we all feel a bit better. We feel a bit warmer. We all feel that we're not on our own. We're all here. We're all in it together. No one gets out alive. Oh no, he mentioned mortality. But and again, if you want to chat, I'm here. We can chat. Come in on a Tuesday, we can chat. I'll do what I can to share your burden. Maybe, I don't know. That sounds like a really grand thing, but I know it makes a difference to people, and it makes a difference to me. Oh, it sounds so grandiose, doesn't it? Am I deluding myself? Anyway, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I don't know if I can do this without making too much noise. Oh, I've dropped it. Merry Christmas. I'll see you next time. Remember, if you can't be good, be careful. Whatever you do, don't tell your mother.